There we are. Got a jerkbait biter. On the slow suspending action, I'm just throwing out and just kind of twitching, reeling in the slack, twitching, repeating that process. It works for these semi-lethargic fish that are feeding but not really chasing lures down. There he is. Get him back in the water here. Alright, so I'm going to walk you guys through how I am suspending or dead sticking crankbaits. So I'm using a Rapala X wrap here. These dive like, I don't know, 2 to 4 or 3 to 6 feet or something. But what they do, when it hits the water, right here in front of me, it kind of sits at the surface until I've used the bill to force it down. Once it goes down, it stays at that level, so it suspends, it stays wherever you leave it. So the idea, get yourself a nice long cast to start with. Okay, it's out there, my lure's basically on the top of the water right now, and I'm just gonna reel down all the slack kind of slowly, twitch it a little bit, get some tension on it. Now it's gonna start kind of slowly falling in the water, and my goal is to let it go down in the water. So I'm actually gonna keep my rod tip pointing down, and I'm just gonna reel up that little bit of slack, give it some twitches like this, reel up that slack again, nice and slowly, give it a couple nice twitches. I like to twitch in groups of 2 or 3 usually. And then I'm just gonna let it sit there for a second. Now this last one, and I had one other bite and miss before that, but that last one that I just caught was pretty much right on the dead stick. So I had twitched it, and then it was just sitting there, post twitch, and the twitch got the fish's attention, and when it was just sitting there, he took it in its mouth, and I felt that and set the hook. So there I did another twitch. I always reel up the line either right after the twitch or just before I go to twitch again. So like sometimes like this, you can reel in, feel that lure, twitch it, and stop. Or you can twitch, reel in that slack, and then wait. Reeling in the slack is good because with this type of fishing, you're actually gonna get bit while your lure's not moving. So if there's a lot of slack in your line, you're not gonna feel it, especially if you're not using a sensitive rod or a line that transfers vibration well. So in this case, I'm using a really sensitive rod, and I'm using 15-pound braided line, so I can really feel like just holding it here and letting it sink. If a fish bites, I'm gonna feel that, and I'm gonna set the hook right away. So you basically just continue that whole process from beginning to end. It's a slow retrieve. It takes a long time to get one cast out and back, but let it sit for a bit, give it those twitches, reel in the slack, let it sit. Now when you're letting it sit, you can let it sit anywhere from like 5 seconds to 30 seconds. And sometimes 5 seconds and twitch is what, that slows things down enough to where they like it. But I've had days, especially cold winter days, where a 30-second pause gives them lots of time to look at it, and then the first time you twitch it after they start keying in on it, they just go bonkers and smash it every time. So sometimes you have to try different retrieves out to get a feel for it, like I did the other day. Once I got one, I mimicked that same retrieve and picked up 2 more on like pretty much back-to-back casts. So like any fishing, you got to figure out what they're into that day or in that moment, and try to give them the presentation they want. So that was a pretty good cast. I got it out there. I'm gonna reel it down just to get that sinking. Give it a couple gentle twitches. So if I just do this with semi-slacked line, that lure's just gonna move just a little bit. And it looks like a fish when they're kind of trying to hold still, but they're flapping their fins just enough to kind of keep them moving. It keeps them always in that little state of movement. And that's what those little twitches are mimicking. Now sometimes, to get a fish's attention, you need to do some more aggressive twitches. So something kind of like this. Now depending on what kind of suspending crankbait you're using, you may have issues with your line hanging up on your hooks when you do those kind of extreme twitches. But if you do a good job of keeping your line mostly tight, it's not usually too bad of a problem. And with the X-Wrap in particular, it's not usually an issue. Give them those aggressive twitches now. Fish on! They wanted the aggressive twitches after all. Alright, it's gonna be another pike, I think. Ooh. Same size as the last one. There we are, pike in the net. So there's the proof right there. It works. Get this guy unhooked here. So that right there is what we call a T-bone. Definitely came up and just side smashed that one. Another small pike. Still aggressive, still fight hard. And that thump, that was a good, I really felt that one. Don't be silly like I was the other day and forget these. Unhooking pike without pliers is really difficult and dangerous. And if you are netting your fish and you don't have pliers, the hooks get all hung up in the net really easily, and you actually do a lot of damage to the fish that way, keeping them out of water super long. So on that note, I'm gonna get this guy right back in there. There we go. Slow action on the jerkbait. I think that this is going to end up being a walleye or something. Feels like a walleye. It's just a smaller pike. Gotcha. Oh, I didn't bring my pliers. What was I thinking? Uh-oh. Alright. Got that on my new Novo Tackle I series. The walleye jigging rod. I cast jerkbaits pretty well as well. Wow! I felt that. Woohoo! Acrobatic little pike. I haven't caught a single thing on the shiner, but the jerkbait is spanking them. No net this time. We're just gonna unhook this guy the old-fashioned way. Awesome. This guy's gonna unhook nice and easy. Boom. Still jumping. That's a big fish on. That's the smallest one yet. Feisty. Okay. See you later, alligator. Yeah, I probably can handle it. It's a drag peeler. Yeah, I was playing with that for a long time though. It wasn't until I reeled it in and he felt it that he moved.
Oh, this thing's an actually carried away.
Wow. This one's a drag peeler. I'm impressed. Okay. It seems that way. Yeah, it's like a 28 maybe. Yeah. Oh, she's a fatty. Boom. Thank you.
Yep.
You want to snag a picture for me?
Heck yeah. Heck yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeehaw. Looks like a good one. You can fight it from right there if you want. I'll go down and net it. Save you the hassle.
Go up the fucking creek here, guy, or?
Apparently. Ooh. Yeah, that's a run. That's totally possible. Whew. Oh yeah, a little bit. Heck yeah. Actually, it's not that much smaller. It's a pretty good one.
Biggest fish I caught all day.
Right?
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Put this freaking unit down.
Is that the fireball?
That I think that one actually
Looks a little
that's a
different.
Great Lake steely bead. I think they call that fucking bozo.
Okay. Just getting your finger right in
Oh,
that
right there?
spot.
Okay.
Like right there.
Right there.
Sometimes they'll still. Ooh.
Down his gullet.
Yeah.
Let's just cut it.
This is why people. This is why you can use these light line leaders, because this part of their mouth always grabs the line and protects it from their teeth.
Right down.
So unless you get them like in the beak.
I don't think I have scissors, dude. You got nippers?
Yeah, I do.
Just flip it wherever you think is good. I think I got a fish, dude.
Oh yeah, that's a fish. It's cruising all of a sudden.
I set the hook and wait till it goes under.
At this point, you know it's a fish. I usually like to wait till it's under, but yeah, I would set that.
Oh, how you doing? Right at it.
Oh yeah.
One's coming in like that side.
He gave up. Just gave right up.
The same fish I caught before?
It might be.
I think it is.
We'll know in a second.
Fucking pliers. Fuck they do.
Yep.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got your leader line in his mouth.
We're taking out
This time he's hooked right in the corner of the mouth, though. Yeah, it happens, but not all the time. You're ready to go. Oh, big dunk. Wowzer. That was a crazy dunk. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
What was that? Is that a steelhead?
Steelhead, I think.
I think it is. My gosh. I think it's a steelhead. I should have changed my leader. That bobber dunk was crazy and that jump was crazy. That was very not pikey. It's a pike. Yeah. That's a crazy aggressive pike. Yeah. Totally different. We were just talking about pike jumps. That was a really good pike jump. Oh! He's got a lamprey on him. Yeah. Oops. Ooh, lamprey just popped off.
Shit, dude.
Yeah, check that out.
Bait.
Oh, I bet. Ooh. Yeah, that's a good one.
It's definitely a good one. We knew it in the pliers. Actually, oh, you got it.
Got it. Whew.
Yeah, I thought for sure when it launched that it was a steelhead.
Yeah, me too. That would have been crazy.
Take that lamprey home and put it in my turtle tank. What, you want portrait or?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. That's a good fish, dude.
Whew.
Yeah, that was quite the bobber down.
Yeah. Yeah, that was crazy. Oh, it broke me off. It cut my line. That was a good fish. Dang it. Dang it. Now I lost both of those crankbaits you got me for my birthday. Arrgh, that was a good one.